how to create and submit a requisition form on EasyRF. Once you're ready to submit a requisition form, just go to the EasyRF website, enter in your username and password, and log into the system. To be able to submit a requisition form, you will need to click on the Accession tab and then the Submit button. Once you do that, you need to select the study you want to complete the requisition form for, and also the site for which you want to complete the requisition form for. Once you've selected the study and site, you're then ready to complete the requisition form details here. Please note, if you had access to only one study and one site, then the study and the site would appear here in these windows by default. Once you select the site number, the first few digits which are the site number and the patient ID would appear here on the patient ID on its own. Okay, we have taken this dummy study as an example to complete the requisition form. Of course, these fields which are required to be completed would differ between studies. The first field here is the requisition form number. You would notice that this field is marked with an asterisk. All the fields with an asterisk, they're mandatory fields. You cannot leave them blank. If you did leave them blank, the system would then give you an error if you try to go ahead, and then it would prompt you to complete these fields before you can move ahead and complete the requisition form. So the fields which are not marked with an asterisk are optional fields. You can leave them empty if you did not have that information available at the time when you're completing this requisition form. The requisition number is the first field here. You would get this number from the label sheet or the paper requisition form that we are sending you. Airway bill number is an optional field. If you did not have that information available, you can leave it blank. If you have it available, it would be great if you could enter, since it gives us more information to be able to track the samples. Initials, patient ID, randomization number. I'm going to leave that empty. It's an optional field. Gender is a drop-down menu. You can select the gender by going to the drop-down menu. Date of birth is a calendar type field. You'll need to click on the calendar to be able to select the date of birth. Ethnic origin is a drop-down menu. Sample collection date is a calendar type field. Time is a drop-down menu. Visit name. Once you select, so we are taking visit 1 here as an example. So once you select the visit here, the first requisition form here should appear on the right by default. The first column here tells you what samples are expected. That's the first requisition form for visit 1. The first column tells you exactly what samples are expected on that requisition form. The second column tells you exactly what kind of label should go on the tube. Third column is the container column, which tells you what tube should be used for these samples. Fourth column is the column where you would mark whether you collected the sample, yes or no. If you collected the sample, mark that as yes. If you did not collect the sample, mark that as no. If you marked any sample as a no and it was a mandatory sample, then once you try to go ahead to the next form, the system would ask you why exactly did you not collect the sample when it's actually the sample that is expected for that particular visit. And then you would need to enter in the reason why. For the sake of ease, I'm going to mark that as yes. Once you've completed this requisition form, click on the next form button to go to the next requisition form. And the system tells you that the first requisition form was created successfully. And it gives you the second requisition form here on the right. Complete this requisition form. Make sure you complete the requisition form number for the second requisition form. And then go to the next form button. All right. So the second requisition form was also created successfully. The system now gave you the third requisition form. The first things first, enter in the requisition form number for the third requisition form. Complete this requisition. Click on next form. Okay, so the system now tells us that the last declaration form that we just entered was also created successfully. The system also tells us that all forms were completed for that particular visit and that we can print the forms now. Now here is the print forms button where you could go and click and access the declaration form that you just completed. The forms you would get will be in PDF format. You view the declaration form that you can print and send along with the samples. Last page is just a summary page that you would need to that you can keep for the site records if you wanted. You can click on the print button to print these declaration forms on your local printer and send these forms along with the samples to your friends. Well, thank you so much.